Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常非常非常非常非常难
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思吃都还难
It's just complicated so much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei Fei, and joining me today is, as usual, our Tony Reed. Hello, Tony.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I am back with another episode of Takeaway Chinese, and hopefully Fei Fei will be able to teach me something new today.
But before we get into the language tips for this episode, I do have a question about traveling. Like, Tony, when you are traveling to a new place, do you prefer taking a ton of photos, or you're type the person who prefer walking around, seeing things and experiencing the culture, for instance?
I think it depends on if I've experienced it before. Like when I first went to Denmark or Copenhagen, my sister lives there and I would visit her. And so the first, I think 2 times I was taking a ton of pictures because I wanted to capture everything about that culture and that place. But after the 3rd and 4th and 5th time of going there, I just stopped taking pictures because I feel like I've gotten everything that I wanted already. So I think it really depends on the experience. If it's something that I feel like I've gotten already, I've experienced it before, then I won't take so many pictures. But if I haven't, then maybe I want to savor that experience a little bit.
Yeah, I think I have this phase from taking photos and then because the first time, for example, when I traveled to Zhangjiajie, which is a very famous scenic spot here in China, I took a ton of photos. I even took a lot of photos on different types of leaves, different types of trees, and even though I have no idea what kind of trees or leaves I'm taking photo of. Then I went back home and realized, what am I capturing here? Doesn't seem like I have a focus here. It just seems with a lot of plants in the photo. And then I think from there, I gradually go into the place where if I'm traveling to a new place, I would definitely eat a lot of local food and do really sometimes extreme sports type of activities and then just trying to get the best out of the time I was there.
No, I almost feel like some of the best trips are the ones where you don't take a lot of pictures. You just go and you just enjoy the experience, which is a lost art these days because everyone wants to take pictures.
Yes, and I think that brings us to the topic for this episode, which is visiting scenic spots, which is in Chinese, 逛景点. 逛景点.
逛景点.
Yes. Yes. Sorry, my northern accent got mixed up in here. So 逛景点.
So hopefully you can explain what exactly that means. The each word, the guang and then the jian.
And the jing and dian, yes. First of all, we have a small dialogue, as usual, to help you to get a grasp of what 逛景点 really means in Chinese.
趁这个假期，我们一起去欣赏一下大自然的美景吧。
好啊，去九寨沟怎么样？我还从来没有见过瀑布呢。
正好我也想看看那里的五彩池，听说湖水是五彩斑斓的，很好看。
说不定还能看到很多珍稀动物呢。希望我们有这个眼福。
So Tony, what do you think of the dialogue? Is there anything you feel like really challenging to you?
There's always challenges in these dialogues. So yeah, why don't we just jump right into it and I'll just ask you questions along the way.
Sure. And the first sentence is 趁这个假期我们一起去欣赏一下大自然的 美景吧。
So this is let's enjoy the beauty of nature together on this vacation. I don't know if that's a sentence that people would actually say, but yeah, I think some of the words at least are useful. So you have 春这个. So 这个 is normally like this, right?
Yes.
You're indicating this thing in front of you. Chun is a new one for me. I think that's like they take advantage or...
Sort of like Chen, they have this vacation and then they want to take
enjoy.
advantage of this opportunity and this time. So Chen carries that kind of meaning.
Okay. So Chun, enjoy. 这个 is like this. And then 假期, I think that's vacation, right?
Yes.
And then 我们 is we. And then 一起, this is together. And then 去 is go. And then 欣赏, right?
欣赏.
欣赏. This is, I guess, appreciate.
Yes.
And then 一下, I think that's a little bit, something like that.
Yeah, it can means a little bit as 等一下. But I think in this case, it doesn't mean they're just going to appreciate the nature a little bit or for a little while. It's just something that follows the verb in casual languages to sort of sounds more natural and sounds more colloquial. 欣赏一下.
Okay. 大自然. So this is like, I think that's the nature, right? 自然 is nature, right? So da here is that big nature. And
Great
then
nature.
we
Great
have-
nature. I think will be more precise here.
So 大自然的, so great natures, apostrophe S. 美景吧. So 美景, I think this is like scenery, right? Or beautiful scenery.
And then we have 好啊，去九寨沟怎么样？我还从来没有见过瀑布呢。
Okay, so this is, all right, great. How about going to 九寨沟? I've never seen a waterfall before. Yeah. So 好啊 is like a way of saying okay or an agreement sound. Here, great. 去 is go, and then 九寨沟. I think this is a certain location, right?
Yeah, it's a very
And
famous place in Sichuan province. 九寨沟.
Okay. And then 怎么样 is normally like how is something, like how is this? So 去九寨沟怎么样 is like how about going to this place? Yeah.
Exactly.
And then 我 is I, 还从来. I think 还 here means like still or ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 从来 is never, I think. Yeah.
从来没有 means never.
Oh, so it's together.
Yeah.
从来没有.
Yeah.
Does 从来itself have a certain meaning, or because 没有 means not to have something?
It's really difficult to explain, but 从来 normally are going together with 没有 or something negative. And put together as a compound sort of phrase, it means never. But I don't think you can. I've actually heard a lot of 从来 sentences without the negative verb following it.
Okay. So it doesn't, by itself, it doesn't mean never. You have to put it with something.
Yes.
Okay, so it's kind of like an amplifier of the negative.
Yes. In English, never also carries the meaning, for example, I've never seen it. It means I haven't seen it in my lifetime or for a really long time. And 从来 sort of carries that kind of meaning here. And then 从来没有 put together would means never in English.
Okay, so 我还从来没有, so I still have never 见过瀑布呢. So 见过, I think this 见 means to see, right? Is this a different way to say see? Because I was thinking that see is 看.
Yes. 见 it also means see.
Okay. And then guo, I think this is the past tense. And then pu bu is waterfall. Yeah.
Yes.
That's interesting. Can we also just say that 我还没有看瀑布?
Yes, 我还没有看过瀑布. You have to have the 过 to indicate the past tense there. Yeah, it also makes sense by saying 我还没有看过瀑布. But when you have 从来,我还从来没有看过瀑布, it sort of amplifies the fact that I've never seen a waterfall before.
Absolutely never, or definitely never.
Something like that, yes. And then 正好我也想看看那里的五彩池。听说湖水是五彩斑斓的，很好看。
So this is, I also want to see the 五彩池 or 池.
池.
So 五彩池 lake there. I heard the lake shows a lot of colors. It's very beautiful.
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
Okay. So the first word we have 正好.
正好.
And yeah, this is a new one for me. What exactly is 正好?
Well, I don't think there is the exact equivalent in English for 正好, but 正好 is sort of an adjective or adverb that express the coincidence, that it could be related to time or the size or the degree or the quantity, and it sort of has the meaning of, since we are doing this, and that happens to be my purpose here. For example, in this dialogue, the person said, I want to go to 九寨沟. And because I've never seen the waterfall before. And here the other person said, 正好. It happens to be the place I want to go because I want to see the lake there. And it sort of has the meaning that, oh, what a happy coincidence we are talking about here.
Okay.
Does that make sense? We can have another example. If one of your coworkers is going out to get some coffee, you can ask them to get you some coffee as well. It's like, 正好你要去买咖啡. Since you are going to get some coffee, why not get some for me as well? And then you can use 正好 in this case.
Like while you're at it.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So 正好我也想, so I also want 看看 to see 哪里的五彩池. So 哪里的, does this mean like lake or?
那里的 means
I think
there.
That's a place, right?
There, over there.
哪里 means, okay, right. So do we need to say 五彩池 like lake? Because I don't see the word lake here.
池 kind of means lake. It means 五彩 lake. 五彩池. It's like 池塘 is sort of a pond. But in 九寨沟 here, they called this lake 五彩池.
Got it. So 听说湖水. So I think 听说 means I heard someone say, right?
Yes.
And then 湖水是. So this 湖水, I think this is lake water.
Yes,
right?
yes.
湖水是 lake water is 五彩斑斓的.
五彩斑斓.
Yeah, 五彩斑斓. I think this is an expression.
Yeah, it's an
that
idiom.
Was earlier I said like a lot of different colors, right?
Yeah, 五彩斑斓 means has a variety of different colors and it's very beautiful. You can see that from 五彩, 五 is sort of the number 5, but in this idiom, it actually means a lot. It doesn't really refers to the number 5. And 彩 means the colors, and 斑斓 can be referring to the colorful, beautiful, has that kind of amplifying the variety and the beauty of the multiple colors in this place. So 五彩斑斓.
And then 很好看 means is very nice to look at or good to look at. Because 好 means good, 看 means to see, and then 很 is very.
So yeah, 很好看 can be referring to a beautiful scenic spot. It can also referring to a person. 你很好看. You are very pretty or you are very beautiful. And also objects as well. For example, your notebook is very beautiful. 你的笔记本很好看. So it can be referring to many things in life.
Cool. Okay, that's quite useful. I mean, 漂亮 is pretty, right? 美丽 is beautiful. 好看 can work for people and objects and places, right?
Yeah, and I think 好看,美丽,漂亮 are interchangeable. All of them can be referring to people, to objects, to the nature, to places, anything.
Cool.
And then 说不定还能看到很多珍稀动物呢。希望我们有这个眼福。
So this is maybe we will even see rare animals there. I hope we will be lucky.
Yeah.
说不定. So this one, I think this is kind of like an expression. This means perhaps.
Yes,
right?
Maybe, perhaps.
Okay. And then 还能, so still or even.
Even, yeah, I think.
It could be still or even, right?
Yeah.
So even 能, this is can, and then 看 is see. 到, I think this is 到 is this like a another clause for a past tense or?
No, I think in this sentence it's actually in the future tense. But 看到, you can sort of understand them as a compound together. 到 here actually indicates that you have a result with the action you take. You see the animals there. And so in this sentence, 看到 are put together as see. And that 到 indicates the result of the action, which is see. That you are able to see things.
Okay. So 还能 even can 看到 see 很多. I think that's a lot. Right?
Yeah.
And then 珍稀动物呢. So 珍稀, this is like rare. And then 动物 is animal. Right?
Yes.
希望我们. So is this hope?
Yes. Hope. I hope.
Okay. And then 我们 is we. And then 有 is have. 这个 or 这个 this. And then 眼福, I think that's luck. Yeah?
眼福. Yes. 眼 means eye, of course. And 福 here means the auspiciousness. Kind of like you have the luck for your eye to be able to see those rare animals. It can also fall in other things like 口福. 口 means mouth. And you have that luck for your mouth to be able to eat that delicious food. 眼福 or 口福.
Okay.
So do you feel more confident about this dialogue so far?
Some words.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of new ones, so yeah.
We'll explain that
Might be
later. But first,
Okay.
let's give it a try.
趁这个假期，我们一起去欣赏一下大自然的美景吧。
好啊，去九寨沟怎么样？我还从来没有见过瀑布呢。
正好，我也想看看那里的五彩池。听说湖水是五彩斑斓的，很好看。
说不定还能看到很多珍稀动物呢。希望我们有这个眼福。You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Fei Fei and Tony Reid. We'd love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts via email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. And for more fun Chinese learning, you can also follow us on Facebook by searching Learn Chinese to watch many fun videos and live streams. And coming up next, let's learn more about visiting a scenic spot. 用耳朵逛一逛景点. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei Fei, joined by Tony Reed. Tony, we went through the dialogue about visiting Jiuzhaigou, and I think you definitely mentioned you have some struggles with a couple of the language tips in that dialogue.
Yeah, there were a few, I guess, new terms. For example, hu shui, that's like lake water. Zheng hao, I think that one was another one. And then shuo buding, these kinds of expressions are a little bit different.
Yeah, I think we can practice a little with phrases like 正好. As I explained earlier, that 正好 means it's a sort of a coincidence. The person is doing something that happens to be your action as well. For example, 我正好要出去，垃圾我来扔吧. I'm just about to leave or go out. Then I'll take out the trash.
While I'm going outside, I'll do this or I'll take out the trash.
Yes.
Okay, so it's like simultaneously when I'm doing this thing, I could do something else.
Yes. Or when you are going out for coffee, I can say 我正好也要去. I'm also want to getting some coffee myself as well. So we are doing the same things by coincidence.
That makes sense.
It can be put in between the subject, 你,我,他, or anybody, and the verb, the action that you are going to take, like going out, buying coffee, asking questions.
你来了，我正好要找你.
Yes, 我正好要找你. You're here. I was just looking for you.
I understand the example of while you're doing this, you can do this because it's kind of a coincidence. It's convenient. But in this context, 你来了，我正好要找你. This doesn't sound like while you're at it. It sounds like speaking of the devil.
Yeah, sort of. Like, we can put that into the context that, for example, you want to look for me for something, and then I happen to go to your office, and then you saw me. It's like a happy coincidence as well. That you don't have to go to my office and looking for me, but I went to your office. Maybe I'm not really looking for you, but I was there in your office, and then you can talk to me about the things that you want to talk about. So it doesn't only mean while you are at it. It can also mean that the things happens to be the things you want to get it done. For example, in a class or in a press conference, someone asked the questions you had in mind, and then you can have 正好 in that case as well. 他正好问了我想问的问题. He happened to ask the question that I wanted to ask.
Okay.
I think you also had a question about 从来. Kind of seems like a little difficult for you to understand.
Yeah, 从来, I think by itself, it's an amplifier. But I don't know if there's an exact translation in English, so it's a little difficult to use this one.
I don't think there is a direct translation for 从来. It's usually used when you want to express you never did something. Sometimes you can shorten 从来 to just 从 in daily conversations. But in most cases, we need to have 从来 following 没有 and sometimes with a 过 in the end as well. 你从来没有想过这个问题吗? Have you never thought about this question? You can see that the sentence starts with 你, which is the subject. 从来没有, and then they have the verb 想, and then the 过 following 想 indicates in the past. 这个问题吗? This question. Have you never thought about this question? 你从来没有想过这个问题吗?
That makes sense. The only thing that I'm a little confused on here is thought or think. I've heard that think is 觉得, right? Let's feel, right?
It also can mean 想 I think 我觉得
Okay.
我想我认为 all of them make sense in this case.
Okay, gotcha.
Or I think the next one would be easier for you to understand is 他从来没见过他妈妈 She's never seen
Okay,
or met
I've
her
never
mother.
seen her mother.
Yeah.
So here, 他从来没看没见 means not meet. Yeah?
Yeah.
没见过没看过他妈妈. Okay, that makes sense. So we got another one here. 你们从来没有听说过这个地方吗? So 听说 means to hear someone say.
Yeah.
So 你们从来没有. So you guys, have you never heard someone say, maybe talk about this place? 这个地方.
Yes, exactly. 你们从来没有听说过这个地方吗? You've never heard about this place before? Yeah.
Okay, so 从来, whenever you hear the word 从来, it normally indicates that there's a never somewhere in there.
Yes, and often the case it has if 没 or 没有 following 从来.
Cool, I think that makes sense.
And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei Fei with Tony Reid here in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can listen to the show and read the script there.
Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and much more. Just search for Takeaway Chinese, and don't forget to leave your comments, questions, and ratings.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
再见.